Doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Excited?
Yeah, I'm excited.
Can you educate me on tight ends a little bit?
Yeah.
Sometimes tight ends are a part of the offense, sometimes they're not. You have an unusual group. You got three different guys. Could you kind of just go through the three and talk about their strengths and talk about how you think that's going to fit the offense?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think the way our offense is built, we have some big, tall guys. They're all over 240, 245, big guys. In our offense, we use them when we want to go pass protection, seven-man protection, or we could use them pass game, create matchups on linebackers on different teams. I think that we have big guys. We got Lucas, Kyle, Kamori, Zip just got here. We have a really competitive tight end room, I think, and I think all those guys can play at this level, and all those guys create mismatches. And the best part about it, they're just like our receiving core, not selfish at all. And I think that we can rotate those guys in and out when needed. So, really competitive group of guys, really good, big, tall, create mismatches on different teams. So,
can you just talk about each one, what their strengths might be?
Sure. So I guess I'll start with Kyle Pitts. Any coach would tell you, he's just a freak athlete. He's like you said, he played receiver last year. It kind of just tells you how much of an athlete he is. You don't see too many tight ends that play receiver and then go back and play tight end, and just he can do both. And just a big guy that creates a really good mismatch for us. I think I'll go to Lucas, 6'7", 255. I don't know what you couldn't ask for a better tight end frame than that. But Lucas is a guy that's always willing to learn, always trying to get better, a guy that's all about the team, and by the same time a really good player, and somebody that's really going to contribute to our team this year. Does a great job just being a team player. I think that's what's the best part about him. Kamori, I think, is very underrated. I think that Kamori is a guy that works super hard, is a really good tight end, a guy that has, reliable hands always, and a guy that also can create mismatches. Some people, think just because of the height, he's not 6'7", but he's just up there, 6'4", whatever he is. A guy that can create mismatches as well, that can jump, big body guy, creates mismatches on tight ends, but that can also really move, that can, run slant routes, can do all these other things. He can really move, and I think that's really good about Kamori. He's a really good tight end for us as well. And then Zip, I think that he's just still learning the offense, really good player, just still learning the offense, trying to get a grasp of things, but he'll be a really good player as well.
Good job. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Expectations are higher, of course, going into this year for you and the team. What's the biggest difference in yourself from a year ago and also the team?
For myself from a year ago, I would just say right now we were more, I don't want to say unsure, but I feel like we were more kind of still trying to figure things out at this point last year. We got a new coaching staff, got guys that we didn't. Coach Mullen, when he comes in, you want to fill him out. What his personality's like. Kind of us as well. He wants to fill us out. He was still learning our names, all this other stuff. And then now, we're more comfortable with him. Me personally, more comfortable with his play calls. He's more comfortable with me executing the play calls. And I think that's most important when you have a head coach, offensive coordinator, and quarterback, and the whole offense on the same page. I think that's what comes with just time, and I think that's what is the difference between now and last year, is the comfortability.
What are the expectations if you yourselves? The outside ones, but within the team.
Within the team, I think going into a year, I think that you would be wrong if you weren't going with expectations to win a national title. I think that you would be selling yourself short, and I think that this team is really special. I think that we expect to win games. I think that's the Gator standard, and we expect to go out there and win every Saturday and try to, make a playoff contender and win a championship here again. That's the expectations every year.
Talking about that familiarity and you're starting your second year, how much, leeway do you have in the offense to read the defense pre-snap and make a play call change or a read or a hot route, something like that?
Yeah, I think Coach Mullen does. He does a good job. I think just giving me the freedom to, if I see something, I could either look to the sideline, or if I know it, I'll just run it. I'll change it and run it. But that's what I think starts with preparation. When we're in the film room, and he says, you see this look, you want to do this, or you see this look, you want to do that. I think it just starts with preparation and going back to me and him and everybody else being on the same page within the preparation for that game. I think is important, and I think comes with the audibles and all this other stuff that kind of comes with it week in and week out. So,
is it more now than maybe it was last year, especially at week 1?
I would say I'm more comfortable with making it now than last year. I think he's pretty comfortable with always making a check, but I would say I am more comfortable now than last year. Yeah.
Thomas.
Mullins talked a lot about how he tried to get you to not worry about what was said on media, social media, fans, whatever. When did that start to click for you, where you realized it wasn't important at all?
Yeah, I think that me just going out there and not playing to please everybody else was important for me. Kind of going through the transition to become a better player and going over a list of things that I need to improve on. I think that was one of the main ones. Is just always go out there with an open mind, always be ready to learn, whether it be in practice and then in the games. You never play to please anybody. Please anybody else. I go out there because I'm a competitor and I like to win. I hate to lose, and that's kind of what it boils down to. Not much more to it than that, I think.
Was there a specific conversation either with him or somebody else where that kind of crystallized for you?
No, I couldn't say. It's just like one conversation, like, oh, yep, I got you, and then I was smooth sailing the rest of the way. It's over time, from since he got here to now, it's just been a consistent thing. You want to repeat something. I don't even know how many times you have to repeat something to memorize it, but it's just kind of like that. You don't just get it off rip, especially something of that magnitude. You kind of want to just keep on consistently nailing it into my brain, and eventually it's gonna become second nature and not be worried about things like that. So,
what do you think of when you hear the term alpha dog? What is your definition?
what do I think
of
of?
an alpha dog?
Shoot, I think of a lion. I think you want me to name somebody, or do you mean?
No.
We'll just
Your definition. When you about being
think.
an alpha dog, what is your definition of it?
I think of a lion. I think of just a guy that can't be stopped. Won't be stopped. And in a realistic term, I don't even know. Just somebody that it won't quit. Somebody that just loves to win, can't lose, and just wants to go out there each and every Saturday. Just be the ultimate competitor is what I think of when I think of alpha dog. Just the ultimate competitor.
Have you always thought of yourself as an alpha dog, or is it sort of something you acquire as your confidence builds?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think that it's a little bit of both. For me, I've always thought of myself as an alpha dog, but at the same time, I think it's something that you acquire more of as confidence grows. So I think it's a little bit of both.
Cassidy?
You've used that lion a few times, like on social media. Where did you pick that up?
I don't know. It's just, what animal, would you rather be? And, when you go out and look, when I look at animals, I would rather be a lion than a cat, or I would rather be a lion than you know what I mean? Just that, like he said, alpha dog, that's just kind of what comes to mind when I see, or when I hear alpha dog, just lion. Somebody that's relentless and that perseveres through anything that they get thrown at, or that throws at them, and somebody that won't go out without a fight, somebody that loves to win in everything that they do in life, not even just football, just in life.
That was good.
Thank you.
Donovan and Marco both have mentioned going back and watching some Arkansas tape just to see what Enos did with that offense. Has there been anything that you or the other offensive players have gone back and watched from Manny, maybe even back to Mississippi State?
I don't even think. We kind of cut up clips onto. I don't know. Let me see how to explain this. Mainly no, but we don't go back that far. But we do I would say a good scouting report on what kind of stuff he runs and stuff, and but I would say more recent. Last year stuff kind of. So I know he's a defensive minded coach, and so I think it's pretty cool. When we get to go back there and watch last year's Miami film, kind of see what they're doing, and then you kind of go back further and see if he has the same tendencies, and so it kind of just all kind of adds up. But I would say not more than we watched last year.
We'll do two more rounds, Mark.
Feleipe, do you consider Miami a rival?
Do I consider them a rival?
Yeah.
I consider them an in-state rival, yeah.
And what's your knowledge of the history of the series?
Knowledge of the history of the series, if you're asking me like the knowledge of like stats and all this stuff, I have no clue. But I know, like, I mean, growing up in high school, I've always, all I heard about, I mean, I was right there in Tallahassee. All I heard about was, Florida State, Florida, Miami, Florida, all these different, I mean, it was always either Florida State, Florida, or Miami, Florida, and that's kind of like what it boiled down to. And that's kind of what I grew up always hearing. So I knew it was an in-state rival game. But, they have a really good team, just like we have a really good team. So I think it'll be a good matchup.
Back your last one. What Stan said about Manny Diaz to you guys? I mean, he's familiar with him. What's he say to expect from his teams and just what he likes to do?
You're asking me to give the game plan away.
No. Does he say? What does he say about his teams? They aggressive?
No, I mean,
relentless. I don't
yeah,
know.
no.
You don't have to give me X's and O's.
Yeah, no, I got you. No, I think that, I mean, obviously they've worked together before, but I think that he's a really good defensive coach. You just look at what he does, the numbers that he put up last year for even Miami. I mean, what were they ranked? Whatever defense, top 10 defense in the country last year. So obviously he's doing something right. He's a really good defensive-minded coach, and I think that Coach Mullins doesn't have to tell us anything. In the quarterback room, in the offensive room, we know that he's a good coach. We know that he does things well on the defensive side of the ball. So that's something that we got to prepare for, and we got to get ready for. Especially if we see variables, that something that we haven't seen on film. We see variables, got to be ready to adjust on the fly and in-game adjustments. So I think that's one of the things that we got to be ready for.